Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa and today we are going to be doing my JuneTBR Whateverathon edition. So let's get into this rather ambitious stack of books. Alright guys, I hope you're doing well. It's a new month, which means a new TBR and a new readathon. So for the month of June, I am going to be participating in the Whateverathon that is hosted by Book Browsing Blog here on YouTube. And I will link the announcement video in the description box below. But we have a total of 4 teams, and this is a bingo style. So I decided to join the Shelf Slayers. The team captains for that team, and excuse me, I've got some notes here because my memory is just not what I would like it to be. However, for the Shelf Slayers, the co-captains are Becca and the Books, Cody's Book Corner, Wandering Through Worlds, and Spoopy Hall. So again, I'll link the announcement video in the description box below. I did pledge 6 books in hopes that I will be able to gain the extra points for anything that I read over my goal that I set in the sign-up forms. So let's get into all the prompts. Now, in addition to the basic prompts for everyone, there are 5 spots on the bingo card that is team specific, and there is another 5 spaces that is for activities other than reading, so participating in sprints, joining the 48-hour readathon, and so on. So I'm going to go through all that, and again, let's see what we can get read for June. Alright, so as far as the prompts go, I'm going to do the non-reading prompts first, then I will get into the team-specific prompts, and then we will finish out with all of the prompts that's basically for everyone. So for the other reading prompts, we have cozy reading time, joining a 48-hour readathon, participating in a guilt-free activity, joining sprints, and completing a goal. So my goal for this one, again, is to try to get the maximum amount of bingos that I can. I'm just keeping it kind of simple. I'm not going to get too crazy. Another goal that I would like to set is actually not readathon related. I would like to get better at posting content on set days and posting 3 videos per week. So that is my main goal, and my priority is to try to get 3 videos out per week in the month of June. So let's see how close I can get to that goal. Now, for the team specific prompts, we have borrow a book, a spooky book, hybrid genre, purple cover, and weapon on the cover. So I'm going to go through those very quickly. So for borrow a book, I actually do not have a physical copy of it, so I'll put it up here on the screen. But I watched Becca and the Books, her June and July, I believe, TBR for her Bookopoly board that she uses. She is wanting to read Aurora's End, which is the 3rd and final book in the Aurora Cycle series that is written by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. It is a young adult series about Squad 312. I have read the 1st and 2nd books last month in May, and I would like to finish up the series, so I will be attempting to read Aurora's End for the borrow a book prompt. For the spooky book prompt, I would like to try to get to Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. And this one I bought strictly because I read Simone St. James' Book of Cold Cases last month and really loved the vibes of that book. I don't really read mystery thrillers all that much, but I did enjoy that one, and I was told that the Sundown Motel is supposed to be even better. So for this one, it looks like we are again in a dual timeline. We are in upstate New York in 1982 and then in 2017. So in 1982, Viv Delaney wants to move to New York City, and to help pay for it, she takes a job as the night clerk at the Sundown Motel in Fell, New York. But something isn't right at the motel, something haunting and scary. So then we fast forward to 2017, where Carly Kirk has never been able to let go of the story of her Aunt Viv, who mysteriously disappeared from the sundown before she was born. Carly decides to move to Fell and visit the motel, where she quickly learns that nothing has changed since 1982, and she soon finds herself ensnared in the same mysteries that claimed her aunt. So if this is anything like the Book of Cold Cases, I am sure to enjoy this one, and this will definitely fill the spooky book prompt. Alright, apologies if the angle looks a little bit different. My camera died. So for the next team prompt, it is a hybrid genre. So for that one, I have decided to go with A Trial of Sorcerers by Elise Kova. I love this author. She writes YA fantasy romance. This is book 1 in a new series of hers. I think she released book 2 earlier this year or towards the end of last year. I don't know anything about this series, so I am excited to see what this is about. Alright, so for the next prompt, it is to read a book with purple on the cover, and I am going with the graphic novel Scales and Scoundrels. This is book 1, Where Dragons Wander, and this came from a recommendation I received from Jade over at JD Ray Reads. She read these. Let's see, this gorgeous multicultural fantasy adventure follows treasure hunter Luvander as she searches for gold and glory. As she dives into an epic journey along with a young prince, his stern bodyguard, and a plucky young dwarf, our heroes will discover a secret that will bring light to a world encroached upon by an ancient darkness. So I do look forward to reading that as well. For the last team prompt, it is to read a book with a weapon on the cover, and for that I am going to be reading Malice by John Gwynne. This is a book that I have wanted to get to ever since the beginning of this year when I read his first book of the Bloodsworn saga. So I don't know what this is. I like to go into these without knowing too much. I can tell you that it looks like we have a point of view of 4 different characters: Corbin, Evnis, Veratus, and Nathair. So I'm anxious to finally get to this one, and this should be interesting because it's a chunker. I'm thinking I may try to pick up the audiobook for this one. Alright, moving on to the general prompts. As I had mentioned at the beginning of this video, I am going to be doubling up on prompts. So for the first one, it is the, and, of, a, and an. So we are to read a book with any of those in the title. So for that prompt, I am going to be reading A Trial of Sorcerers by Elise Kova. And then the next prompt is to read a book under 300 pages. And for that one, I'll probably read the Scales and Scoundrels. I also have another graphic novel in here that I'll be showing you for a different prompt that would work for that one as well. Alright, for the next prompt, it was to read a random color on the cover. So I asked my husband to pick a color. He picked orange. So I actually have 2 books for this prompt because I'm really not sure which one I want to read. So the first one is Sisters of the Snake by Serena and Sasha Nanua. This is a YA. This is the Owl Crate edition. I don't remember which month, but I do know that this is a debut. And I'll say the back says, "A princess never falters. They think, they act, they succeed. I will play Rhea with all the might I have. I practice a grin that does not waver. One fit for a princess and a thief." So I think we are following a couple lost sisters. I don't know if they're twins, but I do believe that they swap places, and that's pretty much all I know about that one. For the other option, I would like to try again to read The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This has been on my TBR for quite a while now, and I did list this for last month, I believe, for the Desert-a-thon I was hoping to get to. Either way, I still have yet to read this, and obviously this is orange on the cover. Alright, so the next prompt is to read a book on a previous TBR. So again, The Poppy War would work for this one, and I also have put this on the list as a possibility, and that is The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. This is another anticipated read that I had set for the May the Force Read With You readathon last month, and I did start it. I got up to page 15, so really didn't get too far, and I ran out of time before the end of the month. So this is a great contender for on a previous TBR. Now there's 2 prompts on here that I haven't written anything down for yet because there's something that I can kind of fit in as I read. One of the prompts is to read something I recently hauled. So I had already showed you A Trial of Sorcerers and Scales and Scoundrels and even Sundown Motel. All 3 of those are my last books that I acquired, I believe. The other one is favorite genre, which we all know that fantasy is a favorite genre. So, I mean, just about any book on my TBR currently that I've shared so far would fit that prompt. Okay, so for the next couple prompts, the next one is to read something in a different format. I do read ebooks, but it's not very often. Typically, I like the physical book. However, I am reading an arc for a book tour for The Merciless Ones by Namina Forna, and that is the sequel to the Gilded Ones that she released last year, I believe. So I have currently started that one. I think I'm only about 15% in, but so far I am enjoying it, so that will fulfill that prompt. The next one is a one-word title. So for that one, I'm going to be continuing with Volume 4 of Monstrous. I've made it up this far. It's been a while since I've read the first volume, so I'll probably do a little bit of a catch up and review just to remind me of where we left off, but I do look forward to continuing this as well. Now, the next prompt is to read a host favorite, and I don't recall who exactly it was, but one of the host favorites is none other than Malice by John Gwynne. So again, I will be doubling up this book for this prompt for that prompt. I can't speak today. Please bear with me. All right. Next one is to continue a series, and for that one I am going with Volume 2 of the Rat Queens. I read Volume 1 for Becca's Whateverathon last month and really enjoyed it, so I do look forward to reading Volume 2 this month. The next one is Last Letter, First Letter. I haven't put anything down for that, obviously, because it's going to depend on what I'm currently reading at the time I'm ready to fulfill that prompt. The next one was to do a poll. So I went on to the Whateverathon Discord and went in and asked for a poll. So I'll put the emojis up here on the screen, but the first one was a sword or a dagger, the second one was a crown, and the third one was a star. So for those books, the star was to be The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. The crown was to be Realmbreaker by Victoria Aveyard. And then the dagger was The Blade Itself. I remembered. So I checked the poll right before I started filming this video. I know last night for the longest time it was tied, but we finished out with 33 votes for the crown. So for that prompt, I will be reading Realmbreaker by Victoria Aveyard. I have no idea what this is about, but I do know that the second book is getting released, I think this month or next month. I don't remember. Maybe it's already come out. Either way, I am looking forward to reading this. I did skip out on reading her first series, like the Red Queen series. There was too many different reviews and ups and downs, and a lot of people didn't like it. So I'm hoping this one's better. I've seen a lot more better reviews for this one. Alright, so continuing on, we have 2 more prompts. So the next one is a less read genre. So I read very few nonfiction books, and typically if I read a nonfiction book, it's more than likely going to be true crime, and this time is no exception. I have Hell's Half Acre by Susan Jonasis. This is the untold story of the Benders, a serial killer family on the American frontier. I've seen a lot of good reviews on this one, and I'm anxious to get to it. I don't believe I'm familiar with this particular crime, but I do look forward to it. It does say something about a mass murder mystery from the Old West, so very intrigued by this one. Alright, so the last prompt is to read a 2021 release, and I'm sure I have many others. However, I did choose, pick it up over here, to put Sisters of the Snake on there or as a possibility, simply because I can double it up with a couple other prompts. So that, guys, is it. I think my stack of like 11 to 12 books should give me plenty of reading options for the Whateverathon. I'm really excited to see how much I can get through. I know the readathons really help inspire me and challenge me and push me to read more. Not because I feel I have to, but it's enjoying. I find it very enjoying to be able to read books that I've been wanting to read for a while and to feel like I can check that, you know, checkbox off the list. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would, please give it a like and a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you have a great night or day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.